Hello, my special friends, dear Arcturians. We, the members of humanity, are faced with many challenges within this now. We know that many of us have forgotten our true multidimensional self. Therefore, we have also forgotten how to reach out to our multidimensional self. In fact, many of us galactic beings had completely forgotten that we are galactic beings who came to Gaia's Earth long, long ago. We came to Earth because we heard dear Gaia's call for assistance during that now of great transmutation. Once we took finally adapted to our third-dimensional human forms, we began to forget who we really were and why we had chosen to make the great sacrifice of leaving our fifth-dimensional and beyond frequency of reality. In fact, we even forgot that we had asked to come to Gaia's Earth. Why did we forget that? We didn't have the answer to that question for many, many incarnations. Fortunately, as we adapted more and more to wearing a third-dimensional form, which was necessary in order to adapt to a third-dimensional planet, some of us began to remember. At first, very few of us remembered about our fifth-dimensional and beyond self and our fifth-dimensional and beyond reality. However, gradually over uncountable incarnations, humanity finally began to remember something. We didn't know what that something was, or if it was at some place or even some version of a different frequency of reality. It took us time to remember how to live within the many limitations of the time and space of a third-dimensional reality. Also, as we began to fully adapt to being third-dimensional beings who lived on a third-dimensional planet, we began to forget about our fifth and sixth dimensional expressions of ourselves who had decided to come to Earth to assist the beings. Some beings were called humans, others were called animals, and some were called plants and trees. Some plants and humans evolved into different shapes and sizes. Simultaneously, these plants and trees, flowers, water, begin to intermingle with all the other rain, the water, the sky, and yes, the galactic beings, who will soon be called humans. Many of these humans looked much like the higher dimensional expressions of Galactic, who are now being called humans. At first, the humans, the earth, the fire and the water all blended together to create a reality that was filled with many forms of life. Some of these beings lived in the water, others lived on the land, and many of these beings, especially the humans, needed fire to cook their food, water to drink, fire to cook their food, and air so they could openly breathe the fresh air that was so abundant in those earthly times. Soon, the Galactics became so involved with the getting water to drink, planting seeds, and the hunting for food, making homes and having families, that they forgot about their home worlds far away in what was soon named after space. Once their former home world became after space, they began to settle into the new role of being humans. Their planetary home worlds were far, far away, and more the Galactics began to be humans. Many of their starships began to be dismantled so that they could become homes for the once Galactics, who were more and more becoming humans. Eventually, the Galactics forgot about being a galactic and began to think of themselves more and more as humans. Each generation of galactic humans became more and more just humans. Fortunately, some of the galactic humans became more and more just humans. Eventually, they were just humans and even wondered if there was anything out there far away in the sky. They no longer thought much about their galactic self or their home worlds that were far away in the sky. Eventually, their home worlds became bright stars which were far, far away. Less and less humans could remember their ancestors who had lived far away on those stars in outer space. More and more they forgot about the planets on which their distant ancestors traveled from to come to Earth. They also forgot about the starships that had taken their ancestors to this place, and this place wasn't Earth. But Earth wasn't thought of as a planet for many, many generations. In fact, it was no longer called Earth, as it was simply called home. In fact, people would laugh at others who dared to talk about planets and starships. That was just a myth that the intelligent people didn't believe in. In fact, if the informed people tried to tell others that the bright light in the sky was a starship, they would be laughed at and scorned. "Where did you get the silly idea?" the smart ones would say. "Don't you know that our world is flat and not round?" Because they couldn't easily see the curvature of their reality, they thought that the place where they lived was all flat, except for mountains and hills. More and more, the ones who knew that there was no such thing as a big round ball in deep space. They knew that they all lived on the land. They also knew that if they went far enough, they could fall off the edge of the planet. These beliefs lasted for a long time because the leaders who knew it all told them that the world was flat. It took a very long time for the people to release these misconceptions, and then some were told they were lying for knowing the truth of a round world. However, there were leaders who could not face the fact that others could know more than them. These leaders wanted to keep the old versions of reality because they were not able to expand their awareness into new concepts. In fact, many of these not very intelligent and not very informed leaders, we wish that we, your galactic family, could give you a happy ending for this story, but we cannot. Why did that happen? We hear you all ask. We, that Galactics, we not have that answer. All that we could say is that we, your fifth-dimensional expressions of self, know that lies are easy to say, but speaking the truth demands a degree of courage and a personal self-esteem. For if one is courageous, they can look into the mirror and know that they are strong enough within themselves to be the truth, and they feel within the heart and soul. It is that feeling that is worth more than any gold that one could ever collect.